Well, hello. You know what? Happy Saturday afternoon. Welcome to another episode of iHeart Doha podcast. We're broadcasting to you from Doha, Qatar on our live stream, which is on Instagram, iHeart underscore the Doha podcast. And also, you can follow us on Twitter for many details. My name is Ahmed Shaheen, and my partner in the podcast, Ahmed.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How you doing? Glad to be here again with you guys. Today we're gonna have a nice little chat, and I told him that the reason I wanna talk about this topic is because I feel like a lot of people have been having a conversation with me about it, which is life goals, happiness, and positive energy.
Yeah, it's a very trending topic right
It
now
is.
in the Instagram culture, in any cafes.
Anywhere.
Probably because all of our friends are from 25 to 30 years old.
Exactly. This is the topic of the era. Everyone wants to find themselves. Everyone wants to be happy. You know what? Everyone have these life goals. And I feel like a lot of people actually get depressed chasing these life goals and happiness.
Yeah, it's a lot. Because there's a lot of workshops and a lot of TV quotes and Instagram
Yeah.
quotes that tells you
Yeah.
set goals for your life.
Exactly.
Do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, everything is just by numbers. 1, 2,
Chase
3,
the
4.
American dream
And-
and fix things around
Yeah.
you. Do this and do that in order for you to be happy. And
Yeah.
whenever I listen to those people, I feel that, oh my God, I have nothing off of that list.
I don't even pay attention to these kind of people. But the issue for me, it's not these kind of steps. I believe that a lot of people recently tie their happiness to two things, to practical steps, like they believe things just happen 1, 2, 3, and one, if it happens, 1, 2, if it doesn't happen, they go depressed because they believe like their life is not going as they planned. And I'm like, but that's not how life goes. And at the same time, a lot of people nowadays in this millennium tie happiness to materialistic desires. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody ties happiness to having money and
Vacations,
vacation,
Cars,
nice cars, nice
furniture.
clothes, furniture. Now,
nice clothes,
I'm not telling you.
designer shoes.
I'm not telling you to live in a hut. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you to go live in the middle of nowhere where there's no electricity. But I feel like because we shift our attention towards this kind of happiness, this is what makes us depressed in the first place.
Yes, because you're gonna feel some deficiency.
Yeah,
If you're not gonna have all the exotic cars that you dream of.
exactly.
But if you get the car that makes you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
get you from one place to another, doesn't give you all the maintenance headaches, I think that's enough for you to be happy about.
It's not even that. Look, think about it.
Yes.
Think about it. I know sometimes me and him always have this argument where we're just sitting in a coffee shop and I'm trying to prove my point and he's trying to listen to me. But it's not even about me proving my point. I really believe from the bottom of my heart that this younger generation needs to understand, or our generation, that happiness should actually not be tied to materialistic desires. And every step that you take towards your life goal, you should enjoy it. If you're
I feel like I'm getting schooled right now. Come on, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm schooling my own self. This is things that I believe in. Like, think about it. If you're willing to start a company, right, and you do all these meetings, you do all these presentations, and then you fail one after another, and you get depressed because you're failing, you're not getting where you're getting. What I'm trying to say, try to enjoy these moments. Try to enjoy this hardship that you're doing. Try to enjoy the people that are surrounding you during this. I mean, you've been through a similar experience.
Yes, we've started several companies before.
Yeah.
Somehow, when you celebrate your surroundings, try to get from one step to another, take breaks. The experience means very much.
Yeah.
Even when you end up being bankrupt. or
Yeah. Well,
Just put the
that's a big word, you know?
pull the plug. Yeah.
That's a
When
big
you
word.
start a small company and you get bankrupt,
Yeah.
it's a very depressing moment.
Yeah, it
The
is.
moment you take the decision to pull the plug,
Yeah.
it's a very distressing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just sit around, try to write the lesson learned, calculate how much money was gone,
Yeah.
and just not try to have this type of argument that if you would have listened to me, or if we have done that or that, we wouldn't have been in this place. No, sometimes you have to celebrate the surroundings. That okay, we got out with 1, 2, 3. Our next try is gonna be better, even if we're not gonna try it together.
Yeah.
But as a team, as a company, that we just pulled the plug on that thing. if you just put a good vibes at the ending of that journey,
Yeah.
I think you will have a good memory of what happened.
Yeah.
But if you put it in the other place that you had a fantasy that you're gonna be a multimillionaire and this didn't happen because you didn't listen to me, and what that's gonna happen because those people did not cooperate with us because we're not that.
Yeah.
They didn't want us to succeed.
I've heard a lot about
If
those.
you put the ending of the story with this statement, you're not gonna try again, and you're not gonna have the good feeling that you had that experience.
Yeah.
And you're gonna always avoid talking about it. That it's something shameful that happened. So, no, I'm really like whenever I talk business to anybody, I really teach people by my failures.
That's good. Not a lot of people actually talk about their failures. A lot of people always talk about their success, how much they made, where high they never talk about the times they were rejected. They never talk about the time they were embarrassed.
Yes, I'm very proud of my rejections because maybe I tell you about the experience that I had. I was applying to the same program for 3 years and getting rejected.
Are you serious? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it really made me feel very depressed.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna start having those kind of conversation with yourself. Like,
Yeah.
why them? Why not me?
Yeah.
Oh, and then your mind takes you to the dark place that they want those people, not you, and you get into all the stuff. But the fourth time, I get accepted, and I feel like, oh my god! Now the 3 times that I got rejected really makes sense.
Yeah.
It really makes sense.
Made you push an effort.
Yeah, it makes a push of effort. And then and when people really see you, man, this is the 4th time we see you. Don't you fight something else?
Yeah.
Don't you have another place to go? I said like, no, I don't think about it like this. Just I get a notification on email that the applications are open, and then I apply again.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, you know what? That happened to me, especially when I went to university. I applied a couple times and I got rejected. And every time I get rejected, I actually feel depressed. And I'm like, why am I not being accepted? I have good grades. Great. You know what I mean? And then I realized that it's actually meant to happen at some point, and my somehow destiny shifted to this direction. And when I went to university, I remember I used to tell a lot of friends, even my own family, when I went to university, I was actually older than half the classmates that were with me in university. I was like, 22, and most of these class students were like 19, 20. And I felt like I was back ahead. And I felt like, okay, if everybody's going to graduate while they're probably 23, 24, I'm going to graduate when I'm 27, 26. And I feel like this is a part where I feel like I'm back ahead.
You're behind in the race.
Yeah, I'm behind in the race. Like, when am I going to graduate? When am I going to get a job? When am I going to start my life? When am I going to do all this? And then I started to tell myself, you know what? Why don't you calm down? Why don't you enjoy it? You're in university now. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the people around you. Enjoy your experience. Everything happened for a reason.
Yeah, but don't you think that you had an advantage that you are a little bit older in the university? You have your priorities set because after the age of 22, 23, you're really cool about some other things that were important when you were 18 and 19. So you were equipped with some life experience.
You're actually right. You're actually right.
Because when you come back from university and you have this discussion with me, I was like, I didn't have that in mind when I was a student, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have those priorities, you know.
Yeah.
Just, sometimes life treats you with something extra. And you have to be grateful for it sometimes. Count your blessings.
I did. You know what? Even when I went to university as an older than most of these kids that were my age, I actually learned that being at this age helped because I'm feeling very mature. I felt very responsible, and I felt like I can do this major. I'm old enough because I studied politics, right? And I studied media, and I felt like I'm mature enough to do this. I go home and I do my work and I do my research. Back when I was 19, I was actually irresponsible, and I would probably have.
I can tell you about his 19 years.
Yeah, I was actually very irresponsible. So, and then I told myself halfway that I shifted my focus the first year that I went to uni was way different than when I reached senior year. My mental state, my personality, I started believing in things that I never believed in when I was a freshman.
Yeah, when you compare yourself entering the university and exiting, you really notice how much difference
it is.
Yeah,
and even my life goals actually changed. Like when I went to university, I was like, okay, you know what? I just want to graduate. I just want to get a job, and I just want to have a nice car, and that's it. When I reached the third year, I was like, no, I actually want to write. I want to get into academia. I want to get a master's. I want to get a PhD. I want to learn. I want to debate things that make me happy. I want to find answers to things. I've reached a mature level that I never thought that I would ever be in this position. And I'm still learning, and I'm still willing to learn. But what I'm trying to say is that going to university at that age helped. Because I was late. Because I failed high school once. Because I failed high school twice. Being late actually made me who I am today. You know what I mean?
This is when you look at it in the good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you stop thinking about life as a race, and
you shouldn't.
Lesson, yes.
You're right. You shouldn't. A lot of us do.
So let me ask you a question, because this happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
What is, when you segregate the conditions of having a good life and having a good day? Now let's put the good life aside.
You're
think
right.
about a good day.
You're right.
This is one of the exercises that
I never thought about this actually. There's a difference between a good day and a good life.
Yes,
You're absolutely right.
having
You're absolutely
a
right.
good day, every day, life is going to change.
You can.
And that's something I didn't come up with, but you can kind of say that.
You know
I
what?
can put a trademark about this.
Adding to your topic, Ali Izabigovich was
What's his name again?
Ali Izabigovich.
All right.
You know how it sounds like Ali Izabigovich? You know?
Oh, it's a German.
A lot of friends, they make fun of me. They're like, stop saying low sale. It's Lucille. And I'm like, all right, sometimes you get mixed up with the language, you know what I mean? But he wrote in a book, Escape to My Freedom, he was talking about this philosophical approach that in order for goodness or good to exist, you need to have evil. You know what I mean? So in order for you to have a good day, you actually need a bad day.
Oh, so that you can be grateful for the good day.
Exactly. You can prepare. I mean, if we're always having a good state, nobody wants to have a bad day.
Let's have an average day and a good day, so we can know how far we go.
Well, it's not up to you. You don't wake up today, you're like, you know what, where's that box of good days?
Yes.
But here you go, that's a good day. No, you can't.
That's a good day, so
There you go. I wish things worked like that. If it did, I would probably pick an average day every day.
So let's put up your fantasy of a great day.
Okay.
A great.
I'm going to share my great day with you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And please don't make it a weekend.
No.
So
I don't.
tell me what's the good day in your life in the middle of the week. Fantasize.
We're gonna actually talk about that because this is related to happiness. And I've seen this on a post on Instagram once, and they were absolutely right that a lot of people live their lives only on a weekend. They waste the whole week in order for them to live on a weekend. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I mean, I'm one of them. I used to be one of them. And when Thursday comes and I'm not doing anything, I feel depressed. And I'm like, oh, I waited all week for this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, tell me how to have a good day
in the Shaheen mind.
In the Shaheen mind. Give me the best fantasy. Don't tell me a good day that you had. Give me the perfect day that you could have if all those things happened in the perfect day.
Okay.
Go.
I'd wake up. I'd take a shower. I'd have breakfast outside. Eggs Benedict, poached eggs with salmon. I love that. And I'd probably have a cup of coffee and takeaway, take a walk, have a nice conversation with someone who's
having a good day also.
Who's also a good day. And we talk about how to make the world a better place.
Oh my God.
Just talking about it. I don't need us to implement it, but if we're talking about it, then it gives me positive vibes that there's someone out there willing to actually do something good to the world. You know what I mean?
Just like the day when we decided to start a podcast.
Yeah, thank you for that. You know what I mean?
We're gonna solve the world's problem.
I wish. I wish you can just write it and I'd solve it out. I'd start off with people that litter. Don't litter. If you're watching this, please don't throw your stuff on the floor. Please don't. Just don't. Okay? Keep the city clean. Thank you. I'm one of those. I believe in that. And then I'd just go home, read a book, play video games, and then afterwards I'd relax.
Yeah,
that's a good day.
Talking about video games, I've seen that you've tried the Fortnite the other day.
I didn't. It was my little brother pressure, but I did it. If you follow us on Instagram, you'd see the stories. A reminder, you can follow us also on Instagram, which is IHeart Doha podcast, and keep you on posted on all our daily details about our next episodes. And you can also be a part of the show and pick up every week's episode, because down the road we're going to have guests. Every week we're going to have 2 guests to share the topic with us. Right?
So, yeah, and if you want to be on the podcast, why not?
Why not?
Drop
Why not?
us a DM and tell us what you want to talk about.
Exactly. And we'll have you here for sure. So what I was trying to say that we were talking about. What about you?
Video game.
And then that's
read a book.
And that's it. I'm relaxed.
And what happens?
That's the happiest.
This is the perfect day in your life.
This is the perfect day in my life.
So you wake up 6:30, 7:30.
No, come on, that's not a job. Why would I wake up 6:30? It's 10 a.m.
You wake up 10 a.m.
10
Are you
a.m.
a princess somewhere?
No, I'm just not a morning person.
Okay,
I'm-
not a morning.
yeah, like say 10 a.m. to me is max. And then,
You have your egg Benedict.
thank you, but thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. But the point is, before I never used to have this model. When I was 19, 18, I'd wake up and I'd start to think about the things that I don't have. And why don't I have it? And these things, they make me depressed. You know what I mean? And then every day was turning into a bad day for me. You know what I mean?
Thank you for the only viewer.
Yeah, he's waving back.
Very happy about that. Can you invite your friends?
Yeah. So the point is, I felt growing up, a good day definition changed. You know what I mean? And I started telling myself, just because I don't have this in my life, it doesn't mean that I'm having a bad day. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't
So
have.
you have elements for the good day, and if one of them drops, what happens? Is it a bad day?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. If even all of them dropped, I tell myself, everything is temporary. Tomorrow's gonna be a better day, and if it's not, at some point it's gonna be a better
So
day.
let me take your good day and try to drop all the elements that you said.
Okay.
So you woke up.
I had my breakfast. We've done all of that.
No,
Yeah.
so you woke up 8:30 because there's a lot of noise happening in the neighbors.
Yeah.
You woke up, you didn't have enough sleep. You couldn't go back to sleep.
That doesn't affect
You
me.
wanted to take a shower.
Not at all.
There was no hot water. Your shampoo was finished. You didn't buy your new shampoo.
Okay, you're triggering me.
Yes, and then you wanted to wear your clothes. There's no clean clothes.
He's triggering me.
You know, now you go into your breakfast place that you like to enjoy.
Okay.
Your car was dirty.
I hate dirty cars.
It's because
Yeah,
I know I've seen your car. I've never seen that dirty, but let's say it was dirty at that day.
Yeah.
And then you went to that place. It's traffic, just let's go through the story.
I stopped actually driving and I started taking Ubers.
Yeah.
So that's why. Big shout outs to you Uber drivers in Doha. You guys are actually lifesavers, especially in the morning because I don't like
And
that.
then you go to your favorite cafe. Someone is sitting at your favorite table. They don't have enough eggs.
See all these
Now,
things.
the person who catches up with you, which is usually me, is not gonna come. So you sit back alone,
Yeah.
talking to yourself about
What?
this, your world problems,
Yeah.
this solutions,
Yeah.
and then you go back home. There's no internet to play a game.
I'm fine.
You forgot
I'm
your
fine.
book somewhere.
I'm fine.
And then you go.
I'm fine. All this I could actually live up to. You know what actually ruins my day? Rudeness. I don't like rude people. I don't like negative energy. And I believe I don't like people who are mean to people. If I actually witness such an incident, it actually ruins my vibe.
Yes.
I don't like that. Like it would make me go upset, and I would think, why do people treat people bad? You know what I mean? So, and this is what I've actually been promoting, especially with my friends, with family, with everyone who I know. And I would always say, you know what? You don't need to be rude to people. I tell myself that if I'm in a bad situation that a lot of people would handle it in a rude way, I try to tell myself, you know what? You can handle it in a positive way. Just try to be less angry. Try to smile and be like, you know what? It's fine. Because afterwards, you'd feel good that you've handled it in a mature way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is all what we are all about here in the IHeart Doha. Just gathering all the positive energy, spreading the positive vibes across the podcast.
That's what it is about.
Instagram culture way.
Instagram culture way, because you gotta love Instagram. You can tell that I'm using Arabic letters, right?
Yes.
Being multicultural is all right. But the point is, and then going back to a good day and a bad day, separating that from a good day and a bad life,
Good life
and a good life and a good day, you're confusing me.
So we're talking about a good day.
Confusing
in order
everybody,
to build a
you know?
good life.
Exactly.
We're talking about a good day.
Explain that point to us. What is a good day and what is a good life?
Yeah, so a good life is conditional all the time.
Okay.
You want to have your own house in the future. You want to have your own car.
Yeah.
You want to retire at 45.
Yeah.
You want to have this wife, those kids. They have good grades. You don't have to work for this. You have a pool. This is your fantasy about a good life.
And if you don't have any of that,
You don't have it, you're not happy.
you're not happy.
Yeah, so if you make it conditional
And,
like
and
this,
how many people actually get a chance to have that?
I think it's this how the 1% work. It's
Does
how the 1% of the society.
Does
So you're not having that good life yet. So
Yeah.
just look at your life right now and
Yeah.
fantasize about a good day. Things that you can do every day so that when you go back to sleep, you think it was a good day.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about my good day.
What is your good day?
Yeah, this is one good day.
Let me
This
ask
is
you-
my mindset.
let me-
And really when I tell you this,
Let me
if-
ask you-
if one of the elements dropped from my good day,
You get upset?
I get upset.
Serious?
Yes, and really too because the things that I want in a good day
Yeah.
are really simple.
Yeah.
I just want to wake up without anyone
Yeah.
having to wake me up.
Okay.
Because I go to work at 6 o'clock, so I wake at 4:30. So getting enough sleep is a vital thing.
Okay.
I wake up, it's 30 minutes until I get to my car and drive work. And I work in one of the most dangerous places. It's a factory.
Okay.
All right, so what I like doing at my 8 hours of work is that I hate to be late on something.
Okay.
I like to have all my preparation from the previous day so that I can start easily, finish easily, no surprises. If I had any surprise, it ruins the day.
Okay.
So that I can get off work at 2 o'clock, clean, fresh, having enough energy to enjoy the rest of the day, just like I enjoy the week.
So if any of these elements drop, you'd be upset?
Yes, if I didn't have enough sleep, I'm gonna drive sleepy. I'm gonna get to work maybe exhausted, maybe late. I'm gonna go if I had no preparations or bad preparations.
Okay.
I'm gonna be having a rough
Yeah.
conditions at work.
Yeah.
If I became so dirty, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Having
So
to rest.
all these details that you're telling me right now, I want to understand that a lot of people build up a plan to their day, and if the day doesn't go how they plan, they actually get upset, they actually get depressed, which is a natural human nature. Nothing bad about it. We all face that. A lot of people do this on a bigger level, which is a life plan. A lot of people build up how they build up their day, they build up their life. They expect to graduate on time. They expect to get a job on this. The minute they graduate from university, get a job. The minute they get a job, they believe they're gonna find love, get married, start up their own life. And a lot of people think they're gonna retire at some point and they're not gonna have financial issues. But here's the thing. If everything in your life goes as planned, I think you wouldn't actually be happy. You know why?
Things that happen midway are kind of entertaining.
No, because if it actually goes the way you planned it, and if it goes the same exactly every way, you'd probably be depressed because it's coming to you so easy. And humans, I have a lot of friends who are
Yeah, continue. Don't sidetrack.
No. I have a lot of friends who, for example, from different economical statuses, whether they're rich or average, you know what I mean? And both of them are depressed. Even the ones that have an easy financial life, they're depressed. You know why? Because they started asking themselves, like, why am I here? What makes me happy? I mean, I got all this money, but I'm still not happy. I got a very easy financial status. I'm still not. I travel the world. I've done all this. I buy luxury stuff. I'm still not happy. And the same answer goes to those who are mid-class. They'd be like, you know what? I don't have money. If I had money, I'd be happy. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? And both of them are in the same circle of non-happiness. Now, am I tying the idea of happiness or non-happiness to materialistic desires? No, I'm not. I'm tying the fact that people don't enjoy what they have and they focus on what they don't have. And when they don't have things the way they plan, they be depressed.
Yeah, life is all wrong.
Exactly.
They say grass is always greener at the other side.
Exactly.
So when you cross the river and go to the other life,
You'd be like, this is great.
looking back, the grass is always going to be greener. So
Not always.
that's what they say. That's what they say.
I want to know. I want to.
Japanese quotes.
I want to know who said that, and I actually want to have a conversation with them. Like, you ruined our minds with this conversation. The idea is that I want myself to tell others, and even, as a friend, you need to focus on what makes you happy at the moment and try to shift your directions towards other things. For example, how I made myself happy sometimes, I started doing sports, different kind of sports. I used to do a lot of weightlifting, then I started doing biking, started running. I started listening to a different type of music. I started shifting my interest towards other things, such as actually
Trying new things every time.
trying new things. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. And the more I get out of my comfort zone, the more I found better comfort zones.
Uh-huh.
You know what I
So
mean?
that's a good one. That's actually a good one. Having a systematic method to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. You change your favorite cafe from time to time, right?
I do that, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very routine-ish. I'm trying to get out of that routine life. And from there on, I actually end up discovering new things. You know what I mean? I try to sit with people that have a different mindset than I am. Before, I would actually just sit with like only certain kind of people. But actually, I started chilling with people, for example, from different backgrounds, different languages, different fields of studies, different experiences. And I've learned and I've realized that I'm actually enjoying these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, enjoying people is something that always happens. You know, we're here in Qatar, it's a multicultural society.
Yeah.
You always meet someone who has been here for 30 years. You meet someone who just got here yesterday.
And I love these.
Everybody got his own story. This is what you like about Doha.
I love this, and you start learning so much about others and their experiences. I started changing my life goals. Before, all I focused on was making money, and if I make money, that means I'm relaxed. But for me, it's never about the money. Now, for me, it's just about being happy. And happiness for me isn't related to making money, but it's related to whatever brings happiness to me. I could go on a trip and I would enjoy this temporary happiness. I'd come back, say for example, I have,
Feeling charged with all the positivity.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I would hang out with friends and sit in a coffee shop, have a laugh. This would make me happy. This moment.
So we can say that
You know-
celebrating moments,
Exactly. You need to focus
having a
on.
good day.
This is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like we got this nice message here. Yes, you went to Dose. I did. I think I did. Yeah, I think I went to Dose. Yeah, I want to thank Marie here. She's a life coach tuning in. She actually forced me to go to a different kind of coffee shop that I've never tried before, and it was a bit different. But then she's like, "Yeah, you did. It was out of your comfort zone." At the beginning, I didn't actually feel comfortable, and but I actually love that coffee shop. Big shout outs to you guys. What I wanted to say is just getting out of that comfort zone. What's the things that you do to make yourself happy?
For me, as I told you, I have conditions for my good day. If I get back home, having to sleep and having to take a heavy shower,
Yeah.
that's not a good day.
Okay.
So, but if I get back home with enough energy and feeling clean out of that job, so I can, and you know, when I don't call you, let's go out, let's go
Yeah,
eat.
yeah.
We probably know that I had a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because you know, corporate life is a little bit BS.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people around that they can't handle the pressure.
Yeah. They don't. They don't.
Managing the daily stress is something very vital. So
Yeah.
you cannot change conditions that cause you stress, but you can change how you react to it,
Yeah.
how you perceive it. And this is
Yeah.
what happened. I have been working in this stressful environment for
Yeah.
5 years, and finally, for the past 2 years, I've seen when I started knowing that okay, I cannot change everything about this. I think this is the best job that I can have.
Yeah.
It's one of the best organizations in the country. I have to change how I react to things
Yeah.
in order to have a good day,
Yeah.
in order to build a good life.
Yeah.
So this is what I've learned that I think everybody should apply it, because you should not be thinking about the other side of the river, that if I go there, it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
Yeah.
This is how all the people get to the immigration.
Status. Yeah.
If I immigrate, get
Yeah.
out of this country,
Yeah.
have other people from other backgrounds, do this, do that, just like that movie, just like that TV show, I'm gonna be happy.
And that's the thing. A lot of people actually, you're right, they build up a life plan, and they believe that happiness is on the other side.
Yes.
But when they go to the other side, they be like, "Why am I here? This is horrible." You know what I mean?
Start missing the
Concepts of it. I had a friends of mine. They were living back home, and they were like, "You know what? We actually want to move to the States." And when they went to the States, life was very hard for them there. Working 12 hours. You know what I mean? You got to handle your own bills. You got to cook your own food. You got to clean your own. And that
The same
dreamland.
thing that happens here, but the fantasy was different.
The fantasy was different. You know what I mean? So the whole idea is, and sometimes your happiness, you can set a life goal for yourself. For example, you say you want to be an engineer, right? And then you become an engineer, and you realize that your happiness is not actually being an engineer. Exactly, and then you realize, not directly, but you know, you get the point. Halfway, you start realizing that your happiness is somewhere else. What I'm trying to say is that think a lot, think deep, and try out new things, experience new things. Try drawing, try sports, try literature, try science, whatever makes you happy. It could be in different places that out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? And don't tie if I'm not trying to say money's bad. I'm not.
Money's always good.
Money's good. I'm not in this idealistic society that I want you to live with like 10 reals in your pocket and you'd be happy. No, obviously you wouldn't. But don't make it a goal. Make it somehow what's the right word for this?
A condition.
A condition. You know what I mean?
If you don't have this.
And I've been teaching myself that. I really have. Before, my goal was just money. Now, my goal changed. I actually want to work on myself. I want to be better. I want to be happier by having a lot of friends. I want to travel, see the world. I want to have a pet.
Yeah, you've been talking about your pet.
Actually, I like pets. I like animals.
You like the idea of having pets, yes.
Something that just likes you for who you are. You know what I mean?
You think that
A lot of pets are actually a bit nicer
feed
than.
them and take them outside, they're gonna love you.
Well, not always.
Yes.
But yeah, but you have to. I mean, that's a responsibility. Right?
I'm not gonna respond.
Okay. Well, a lot of my friends don't like animals, but the point is, happiness could actually be in your simple little, circle that you're living in. Really.
Yes, if you start setting. So, let's say that you're away from all the things that you think make you happy.
Yeah.
How can you celebrate the surroundings that really aren't within the circle or world, within the conditions that you build in your mind in order to be happy?
Yeah.
So you had those sessions with all the life coach, you had done all of your readings. What is the conclusion that we can take out? Let's say that I want to have a good day every day.
Yeah.
How can I build this?
You can. That's the thing. Things don't work that way. You need to have a bad day in order for you to have a good day. And you need to have a good day in order for you to have a bad day. And if you have a bad day, it's not the end of the world. Tomorrow's going to be better. And if you're going to have a good day, it's also not going to be forever.
So yeah, the process to build a good day for you, it's going to have a series of bad days,
Exactly.
a series of average days, and then you're going to have this fantasy. You're going to build the ability for you to manage everything around it. For you to have a good day every day at work, a good day every day at the weekend, a good day for every wedding you go, because for us, whenever you get invited to a wedding, it just has starting to have a more it's not like the old days. It has to be perfect.
A lot of people are stuck on the old days, by the way.
Yes.
And
if you're gonna have a meeting, a big meeting, how I'm gonna be prepared.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna go to that conference and talk about these things. Oh, I have to. We're gonna have a podcast tomorrow, so we're gonna have. I need to stay away from all the cold stuff. I need to have my voice ready.
Yeah.
I need to have no noises around. Just sit up things early. Sometimes it takes trials and errors in order for you to build a great experience of certain things. Sometimes it's just a day of the week. Sometimes it's a weekend, family day out, date night, friends day out. And if you have this mindset of having positive vibes, having to spread all the good energy and to stay away from negative impressions. Because sometimes complaining about, I forgot my headphones at home.
Yeah.
So it ruins the day, but we can start the podcast.
I did. Actually, and it does. I mean, I forgot my headphones back in the house. But I enjoyed the positive side. I got a chance to drive his car, and that was a nice experience, driving a nice Challenger. I mean, I'm a big fan of Challengers, and it was fun. I mean, there's positive sides to everything. I mean, everything you do in this world, you need to look at the positive side of it. Not always. I don't want you to be. I tell myself that I'm not trying to be an idealist because I'm not. You know what I mean? But I try hard a lot of times to just look at the positive side of it, in order for me not to damage my own health, my mental state.
Yeah, so it's a state of mind. Happiness is a state of mind.
It could be. It could be. We're also searching for the answer. We're not talking here pretending we know all the answers. No, we're actually, we want to know ourselves. I mean, what makes people happy?
What makes people happy? What other things that
What makes it you
We're
happy?
not life coaches.
We're not.
Life trainees.
We're all life trainees. Nobody's a life coach. I personally believe they should change that name.
Yes, life train. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an issue with that name.
Sometimes when you want to learn a language, so who do you look for? You look for a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So when you want to learn
Life. Do you look for a life coach?
yes, I think
Doha podcast, iHeart Doha podcast has an issue with life coach names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
they need a PR consultation. For
Yeah,
them
I
to
think
come up with a new name.
whoever came up with this name, we need to have a nice, serious conversation. Shaheen needs to meet you wherever you are. Set the date. You know,
We're gonna have a PR session for you to come up with a name.
a better name.
Yes.
What would a better name be?
For a life coach.
Yeah.
Maybe a guru.
A guru.
A guru or a master.
Yeah.
So teach me how to get a good life. No, I think, because whenever I meet a life coach,
Yeah.
some of my friends are,
Yeah.
when they talk about the perfect things you should do in order for you to be successful, or in order for you to have a good personality,
Yeah.
to be a good communicator, I really start questioning them.
Yeah.
And this is somehow disfigures the knowledge that comes from a life coach.
Yeah.
And they are really prepared for this question. They tell you that I'm not perfect.
Nobody is. What
I'm
is
not
perfect?
always motivated. I'm not having a good day every day. But those are the things that if I apply, I get good results, and so should you.
Yeah.
And this is how they win the conversation, actually.
Okay.
They are life coaches because the topic of being happy, the topic of being successful, a good communicator, this has been discussed all around history. People
Yeah.
have been studying this.
Yeah.
They have been coming out of some kind of steps, things you should take care of, coming out of explanations of things you should do in order to do things. Because people, when they analyze things, they try to put things in text and structure for them. And sometimes it works. Sometimes when you achieve them and say, oh, I achieved them, but nothing is really working for me. I think you need a shrink, not a life coach. But if you are looking at your problems in a simple way, just look at it from above and try to ask yourself, ask people, but okay, are you happy with your job, Ahmed? Yes, I am. Why? How?
Okay.
So sometimes you're gonna reach a mindset from another person that makes you have a good feeling about things you have a better feeling of things you don't have, and somehow you're gonna converge or reach out to a positive mindset of a good day, of a good life, of a good day out.
Okay. I've never actually thought about it that way. Thank you so much for clarifying that way.
Oh, thank you.
I always learn new things from you.
All right. That's
Wish I could say that the same when you're listening to me, but
wish I could say something like this back to you, huh?
yeah. I wish you never do. It always gives me a grouchy face. But you know what? Speaking away from that, that's actually lead us to life goals. I mean, what is a life goal?
What is a life goal?
What is a life goal?
Oh, we need a professional to answer this.
No, really, what is a life goal? Is it like, if people stop at their life goals, that doesn't, because I've seen a lot of people that reach their life goals and then they end up having a new life goal. You know what I mean? Like, it's never something settled.
Just when Lil Wayne says, every finish line is the beginning of a new race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have an attitude on that now.
Yeah, okay.
It's a song.
I never thought that one day I would use Lil Wayne as an example.
Yeah. That's the example that came up in my mind. Like, every finish line is a beginning.
Pretend you never heard about Lil Wayne. Yeah, no, just pretend you didn't. But the point is that if you have a life goal right now, and if you actually reach your life goal, down the road, you're going to actually build up a new life goal. You know what I mean? Because they're always changeable.
Yeah, we're gonna learn new things. Gonna sit down. You will have new criteria for a life goal. Sometimes you feel like accomplishing this was only the halfway for you to your ultimate goal.
Yeah, and even if you fail reaching this life goal, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough for the task. It just means that maybe you're meant to be doing something better.
Yes,
You just got to look at it from that angle. I've tried applying to 3 different universities, and I wanted to be a pilot, and I actually failed twice. And halfway, I was like, "What? I'm not good enough to be a pilot." But then I realized,
I never know that about you.
no, really,
You wanted to be a pilot.
I actually wanted to be a pilot. Imagine me flying your plane. You would not really get on that plane. But
It will be a good welcome message if you were on the
how would you say that, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome abroad. This is your pilot speaking. We're flying at 30,000 altitude.
Saturday, the weather outside is 7 degrees.
I love it when halfway you actually don't understand what they're saying. Like,
Yeah, this is when they talk about the altitude and the location.
and then you actually feel
You
comfortable.
look at it from the.
And then you actually sit back and you relax and you're like, but you don't actually know what they're saying, but you love it. They're like, and then that one sentence that you understand, food and beverages are being served. You know what I mean? I love that, but you know what? Big shout outs. I have a couple of pilot friends. Big shout outs to you guys. You actually do a great job. And when I told my mom that I wanted to be a pilot, she told me you want to be a driver. I was like, Mom,
Yes.
I was like, I was like,
No, I never thought of it like that.
no, really. I was like, Mom, it's a pilot. She's like, no, it's a driver. And you gotta love mothers, man. Arab mothers, they always want you to be a doctor or engineer. If you're none of that, you're not successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a meme that says you can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
A doctor or an engineer.
That's it. Other than that, you're not successful to an Arab mother. Big shout outs to all the Arab mothers and all the mothers in the world, actually. But the point is, that when I failed 3 times, I was depressed. I stayed home for 6 months, and I used to tell my parents that, what, I'm not good enough for me to be a pilot. Halfway through it, I realized that I actually don't want to be a pilot. And what interested me the most was actually politics, literature, writing, media. And then when I got into that field, I was actually happy. Reading about Malcolm X, reading about Martin Luther King, reading about so many great writers, thinkers, history. I felt like I was actually in the right place.
Yeah, feeling empowered by knowledge every day, by wisdom.
And meeting all these amazing professors that I met, I've realized that I would not have felt the same if I was actually just behind a cockpit flying the whole time. This is for me. I know a lot of people wouldn't enjoy what I'm doing, and they would enjoy being a pilot. You know what I mean?
So yeah, that's the thing. Try to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Think about the elements around you, about the condition around you. What are you enjoying the most, and celebrate them for once.
Exactly. And you got to think that having this, if you don't have it now, you could actually have something better. Not everyone is meant to be rich, by the way, but you could be rich by having other things.
Yeah, but if you think about it this way,
And this is a standard. This is a standard that is set to us, or set by society nowadays. That it forces everyone to believe that in order for you to be happy, you need to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? And it's not about that. Sometimes having money doesn't make you happy, and even if you do, you could actually be happier by having other things. Think about your health. Think about your friends. Think about
sometimes you might be grateful for the
think about your family. All these things actually make you happy. You know, think about the journey. Sometimes I love this thing. It's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. Sometimes the journey is actually more fruitful, more educational than reaching your goal.
Yeah, that's why a lot of my friends say that going on a road trip
Exactly.
sometimes better than going for one destination vacation.
Exactly.
I've never tried going on a road trip.
Yeah, I've tried it 3 times, and it's actually one of the best experiences. I remember I tried to drive. I drove 3 times from here to Sudan, and when I got to Sudan, I actually enjoyed stopping by the little street restaurants, having this food being cooked in like a really horrible kitchen condition. You know what I mean? And it was delicious, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And then when I actually got to the destination, I didn't have fun as much as I had on the road. And I remember every little details. I literally had dinner on a broken bed under a tent that was actually ripped off, and you can see the stars. And this guy is wearing probably the same outfit for the past months because he was in the middle of a stranded desert. But I enjoyed it, and I was happy. I'm serious. Now
Really scared.
I'm not trying to say that.
Weren't you scared in that place?
No, actually, no. It was beautiful. People were friendly, and they were actually more friendly than people in the city. No, I'm not saying people in the city are bad, but it's just sometimes you find happiness in other places you don't find it where you think where you're gonna find it. You know what I mean?
I'm getting schooled right now.
No, it's not being
thank you
cool.
very
I'm just
much.
sharing an experience, and
I've never been to a long road trip that made me feel troubles because I hate trouble.
yeah,
When I think about the road, I think about speed, I think
Yeah.
about the desert, I think about not having enough gas,
Yeah.
I think about toilets,
yeah,
and maybe I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
linked
Yeah,
to some bad memories.
yeah. You start thinking about these things. That
And
much.
then say, no, I'm not gonna have a road trip ever.
No.
I want to be in an airplane that doesn't have children on, that doesn't have old people on.
Well,
I want to be in an airplane that doesn't have any children or old people.
what's wrong with old people? They're nice.
If they sit next to you, you cannot move much.
Yeah, I mean,
They always want to go to the toilet. They
Yeah.
always want the aisle seat. I'm not a window seat kind of guy. I'm an aisle seat kind of person.
well, you know what? Sometimes it's a good workout for you. You never know. I don't. Here's the thing. Setting that to what you said, and I really like this, and I really believe that this is one of the most things that I've learned today from this discussion, which is having a good day is different than having a good life. And if you have a bad day, sometimes it doesn't mean you're gonna have a bad life. Yeah.
Yes, you can build those things towards.
You can build these things. Thank you so much for being a part of today's podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
No, really, I actually enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's discussion. We're definitely going to talk about it more. We're going to bring more guests to the table. And we're going to upload the episode on Monday on YouTube. You can like and subscribe our channel, which is iHeart Doha Podcast on YouTube. Our Instagram is also iHeart Doha iHeart _ Doha Podcast. And stay tuned. This is Ahmed Shaheen signing out.
And this is Ahmed Abdelkareem signing out. Thank you very much for a beautiful talk, man.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta thank the guys behind the camera. They always done the amazing work. The decorator in the back. It's grassy, you know. Grassy
You
back.
can't help yourself not to feel the grass.
I know. If you ever guys come over, you can scratch it.
You're gonna have to test the feeling.
You have to test the feeling. Take care.